All right, you may want to look up in the sky and see if pigs are flying because the Democrats are now talking about lowering taxes. Of course, there's a catch. According to Axios, every single Democratic tax cut proposal that is bundled with a slew of new tax hikes. In other words, that would be called smoke and mirrors. Meanwhile, Democrats are about as unpopular as ever. Take a look.
Take a look at this. This is a trend line going back through the years, midterm elections in which there's a GOP president. Look at this. In 2006, Dems' net approval of congressional Democratic leaders was plus 28. You go back to the last midterm, look at that, plus 19. Very much on the positive side. The bottom has fallen out. The bottom has fallen out. Minus 4 points. That is Democrats' own net approval of their own congressional leaders. Even Democrats don't like their own leaders when it comes to Congress.
Now, don't forget, quote, moderate Democrats are a thing of the past. For example, Abigail Spanberger was elected governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia by a wide margin in November, but she's governed so far to the left, her approval rating is plummeting. You just can't trust any Democrat once they're in office. They're all the same. Anyway, here with reaction, the host of Making Money on Fox Business, our friend Charles Payne, another friend, Republican candidate for governor of the great state of Ohio, the Buckeye State, Vivek Ramaswamy. All right, Charles, on the economic front, it's amazing they want to talk a big game, but didn't they vote for the largest tax increase in history while voting against the largest tax cut in history?
Yeah, you have a pretty good memory. You know, this thing is crazy. What I'm loving is watching from the sidelines, and what they're calling one of the biggest Democrat civil wars has broken out over this, right? They've got the wonks, the policy wonks. Some are calling it slopulism instead of populism. And it's just wonderful to see. Let's face it. The Dems never got over when Donald Trump pulled out no tax on tips. That was like the ultimate checkmate. And they've never gotten over it. And there's some who, all of these folks, by the way, want to run for president. Look at all the names that are pushing this. They think they can be commander-in-chief. And they have no fresh ideas. And, of course, the Dems who have been there for a long time who believe in, hey, big government, big government, big government, are actually pushing back. And it's just a complete disarray.
Yeah, Vivek, you know, this is the challenge for every Republican like yourself that's running for office is Democrats will talk a big game. They will follow Abigail Spanberger, and all the things she's now implementing in Virginia, those are not things that she ran on. That is not what she communicated to the people in the Commonwealth of Virginia. If she did, I don't think she would have won.
So look, it's the same story as Joe Biden in his 4 years of his presidency as well. Ran as a moderate, pretending to be normal, governed in a very different way. And I see this dynamic on the ground here in Ohio, Sean. You look at the person who I'm running against, it was the COVID czar who shut down the public schools in Ohio. But this is somebody who recently just proposed a $20+ billion hole in Ohio's budget. And the reality for the Democratic Party is you could have imagined a version of the Democrat Party that said they're going to move towards economic growth, that they're going to embrace capitalism once again and offer a slightly different policy vision. That's not the direction they've gone. The candidates they're putting up are consistently now favoring, if not in their campaigns, when they're in office, a new socialist vision for the country, one that believes the government is actually the one that creates value in the economy rather than the private sector. And I think it's up to us, to Republicans, to stay true to the time-tested principles of economic growth, success, free market capitalism. And by the way, lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools, that isn't a particularly right-wing or left-wing issue. Those are issues that actually unite all of us. And so for Republicans this year, if we run and govern on those messages, lower those costs by spending less government money, put more money back in your pocket through tax cuts, through sensible energy reforms that bring down your electric bills and improve our schools while we're at it, Sean, I think we're going to be able to exceed expectations this year in a way that brings along a lot of those independents once again this November.
I think that's the thing. And we're not at the point. You know, Charles, there's a lot of runway between now and November in terms of this economy, right, you know, kicking in, all the policies that the president has put in place, all the foundational pieces he's put together. Granted, we have a blip with energy prices, but this could be all over tomorrow.
Yeah, December was the absolute bottom in terms of consumer sentiment, some of these other economic numbers. The big, beautiful bill and everything else kicked in perfectly. January's data, February's data, and even the early March data. The manufacturing boom is here. It's undeniable. Wall Street remains bullish. You know, last year when we had the tariff situation, every firm on Wall Street lowered their target for the stock market, every single one. I haven't seen one do that this year. The powerful tailwinds from the big, beautiful bill, along with the economic momentum we've had, and to your point, this situation in Iran being a blip will resume. Wall Street knows that. In fact, I saw a couple of firms hike their target. So everyone thinks that we're going to have the strong momentum going into the midterm elections. There was already evidence of it, and I think it should pick back up.
And manufacturing accelerated to its fastest pace, Vivek, in 4 years. That is the, however many trillions in committed investment money the president brought in. That's not even made it to the economic bloodstream yet.
Look, I think there's also even added trends that I'd point out, Sean. The trend towards advanced manufacturing, embracing the toolkit of the future rather than rejecting it. And I think it's actually going to be the enhancement in productivity as we enter the AI era, as we enter advanced manufacturing, that we're going to see an American revival of a kind that we deserve to see and are going to lift up the people of this country economically. That's what we're running on as Republicans, and I'm confident we're going to deliver.
All right, Vivek Ramaswamy, Charles Payne, thank you both. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.